Hey, so welcome to a very strange episode of the news you missed. This will likely be in a different playlist because it's pretty big. It's revolutionary, if you will. Today we're going to be addressing Article 13, something that has come about. I'm not going to get into the nitty gritty about it, but basically it could really cause massive problems for the internet, the worldwide, YouTube, and many other social media websites. So if you'd like to hear more about that, you can stay tuned to this episode. Now, before I jump into that, if you'd like to stay up to date with me and these interesting news stories that I try to come up with every day, you can just click that subscribe button and you're in like Flynn. So now, let's jump into this very important news article. So if you've been on social media lately, you've probably heard of something known as Article 13. It's an article that's been proposed for, normally it's going to be applying to like the European Union itself and countries that are affected within Europe. So it doesn't necessarily affect North America, but before you jump into the boat of it doesn't affect me, so it's not a big deal, let me just get into that. And I'll explain about the European Union thing, because a lot of people are probably going to sit there and say, oh, it only affects certain countries, but just hang on. Alright, so the first thing I want to do is just explain what Article 13 actually is. Basically summarized, it's going to try and protect copyright a bit more. Now, that's a pretty broad term, and the proposal itself is pretty deep. I mean, there's good reading there, man. Whew. If you thought your history book was pretty thick, you go ahead and read all of Article 13, every proposition, everything that could potentially come out of it, and I promise you, man, you'll get a grip on exactly what it's going to do. But essentially, what it's going to boil down to is a lot of websites are blocking the European Union and all of the countries associated that are going to fall under this Article 13 and are going to enforce this article. Now, of course, as I mentioned before, America is not going to be affected by this, and many other countries really aren't. But because Europe is such a huge country in the world itself, in terms of social media presence, in terms of YouTube presence, this is going to be very, very bad. And YouTube themselves have come out and stated how seriously negative this is going to be. So you know it's bad when YouTube, the website itself, is saying, hey, don't vote for this. A lot of companies are very, very worried about Article 13 because essentially before it's completely worked out, before everything's concluded, before the law is passed and judgments and lawsuits can come out, these companies are going to cut ties with Europe. So let me put it in more simpler terms for you. Okay, instead of making all of these new rules and new exceptions for the European Union that are going to fall under Article 13, what YouTube would rather do is block out the entirety of the country. Because the countries who fall under Article 13 are going to enforce the problems, they can't watch copyrighted content. It could be so bad to prevent them from being able to even view YouTube on a global scale. So if you're one of the people who fall into the countries that fall under Article 13, you might not be able to view YouTube, you might not be able to upload things to YouTube, just due to the simple fact of Article 13 preventing you due to the fear of copyright infringement. So these things could happen before anything has been sorted out. YouTube, when this Article 13 is processed, YouTube might not have an algorithm specifically set for people who fall under Article 13 to where they can watch content on YouTube but not watch copyrighted content. You guys ever seen YouTube poops? There's tons of content copyright ID claims that are thrown up on those, but you're able to watch them. Most of the time, people make videos on YouTube not looking to make a bunch of money, they just upload what they upload. Some people do it creatively, some people do it for a laugh, some people do it to push a different type of agenda, but for whatever reason, there are people out there that upload videos without the intent of getting rich. And that's great. That's what YouTube was founded on. But my point is, if you were in a country where Article 13 was present, you might not be able to view those videos. And how is YouTube going to sort through every single video they have? They can't manually. That would be an impossible task for anyone. So what they would have to do is write an algorithm specifically tailored for that country. The countries that fall under Article 13. Make no mistake, there are other countries that are also going to fall under Article 13 because they're part of a union. So let's just say France, Germany, Europe, they all come together and they say, we're going to fall under Article 13. Well, now you're not going to be able to view YouTube, you're not going to be able to view Facebook, Twitter, any type of social medias until those algorithms are placed and you can be trusted enough to not upload copyright infringed content, view copyright infringed content. You see how impossible this task might end up being? Now that's what it boils down to in the most extreme cases. Is that really what's going to happen? I can't say for sure, but the one thing I can say for sure is that it's not good. So what can you do? Well, if you live in a country outside these countries that are affected by Article 13, nothing. Really, you can't. I mean, you could tell your friends in those countries, hey, you probably shouldn't vote for this, because this is going to probably ruin a lot of YouTubers' livelihoods, especially people who do subjective work that falls under fair use content. If you allow that to happen, you're basically opening the doors to saying, we're going to be censoring all your creative work, because it could fall under copyright infringement. So any movie critics, any video game critics, I mean, there's people that are very, very prominent from foreign countries that do things. They're English speaking, and they're even prominent here in North America. They would no longer be able to do their works just for the simple fact that they're including stuff from Nintendo, Microsoft, PlayStation, any head movie studios. Let's see here, we have music critics, things like that. Very bad stuff is going to happen for those people involved with Article 13, falling under Article 13. A lot of people made jokes about this. They say, oh, how are they going to ban memes? Oh man, they're going to ban your memes because, that's copyright work and your copyright infringement and stuff like that. But it's not really a joke, unfortunately. It's very, very sad. Now, here's the part where just because you're in another country and it doesn't affect you, yeah, that's absolutely true. It does, kind of. You see, here on YouTube, all those people who do like to make money and do like to actually get paid for their work, unfortunately, those type of countries are high up on the monetization tier. There are, generally speaking, 5 massive monetized countries that you can view for your personal area that are going to pay the most for the ads. So those are the countries that you would like to target. Obviously, if you're in North America, you want to target North America because those are the ads that are going to be sold onto your videos. The people who are going to have the most money are going to watch the ads, and the ads are going to pay the most to be put on your videos. So North America, very, very high tier. Low tier countries that are very, very poor third world nations, not going to pay too well on ads, I'm sorry, because advertisers view them as, 1, not being able to get their products in their country, 2, not being able to use their products even, and 3, not having the money to get their products if they could get them. All of these places, all of these locations that fall under the European Union, all of those locations, if they were to be blocked off completely from YouTube, that would be very, very bad for the entire world, because people who make content here in North America, usually European countries fall into that second place. Can other people on here live without the people that view their videos most? So for example, if you're a person in the European Union and you make YouTube videos and that's how you make your living, and Article 13 passes and it's the worst case scenario possible, you can't upload, you can't watch YouTube, you can't deal with anything online until these specific algorithms are made, what do you do? What do you honestly do now? You're out of a job for a while. And now a lot of people aren't going to be seeing your content. So that's very, very sad, especially if it's over an article that's supposed to protect copyright freedoms and things like that, protect people and their intellectual properties, but it just ends up hurting people. So there you go. I could have gotten a lot of things wrong, which you are welcome to correct me in the comment section. I'm trying to make this the most basic level understanding. There's tons of videos out there. I will leave links in the description below. You can check into them if you want a better understanding of Article 13. But I have just entertained a worst case scenario here on my channel. So, will this happen? I don't know. Is this likely going to be the final answer to Article 13? If it passes, I don't know. I can't say. I don't know what's going to happen in the future, This could potentially be the solution that YouTube goes with. You know, we're just going to block out all of the countries who fall under Article 13 until we can write that special algorithm for them, and then they're just going to have to deal with that. Who knows? I do find it ironic that the European countries are basically falling under the banner of censorship here, and the ironic part is it's supposed to protect intellectual property, but it's just going to end up banning memes. Good luck with that. Welcome to the internet. So this has been a very unique and special episode of the news you missed. You probably didn't miss this news, and if you did, well, now you know. So there you go. Some people wanted me to make a video on this, and therefore I did, and I hope it was everything you had hoped for. Well, it might be a downing and depressive subject, but please make sure to like and share it with people so other people know what's happening. I don't usually do these videos where it's just me and you talking here, but I feel that this is a more personal video. Man, I feel for you guys in the European Union. Whoever falls under Article 13, even if it's just one country, you know, I still feel for you. You know, the worst case scenario is the entirety of the European Union, and man, that would be real bad. So, good luck, man, if you're over there, and Godspeed. So I've been your host, Protomario, and I'm signing out. As always, good game, God bless, and I hope you guys have a good day.